Grow. Here we grow. Here we grow. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Tonight is Monday. It is Easter Monday, in fact. So I'm sure everyone's had a wonderful Easter weekend and celebrating as we all have with our families. And now we're joining our Bellator family, which I always love. And I shared earlier, on nights when I don't get to jump on calls, I'm just calling everybody anyways because I miss y'all. So this has just been an absolute blessing in my life. And we've had a little fireside chat before we started this call. Many people in the room are the same. We've joined this community and we are loving it and we are learning so much about this crypto space and these amazing companies that are about to go public. Mediterra, Miracle Pay. So tonight we're having a presentation. Mr. Robert Fitzgerald, my leader, and Ethan Bast is on the call, my wonderful friends who invited me into this space, and we've got other leaders on from all over the globe. I go in um, somewhere in Africa. I'm not too sure of the name of the place, but he's growing all over Africa. So I go. We're so blessed to have you on, and we welcome all of your team, and of course we have a great showing from Australia with Beck and Nat and many others. And they will be the ones, if you see the pictures, they'll be wearing less clothing than we are. It's always lovely and warm over there. So without further ado, Robert, I know you always have a great introduction for Ed. We are always delighted and joyful when he shares. And so Mr. Robert Fitzgerald, again, honored to be on your team, and you do such a great job with all of us. So please take it away.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Brenda. Appreciate the kind words as always. And I just need to give it back to you, right? We wouldn't have Igo and we wouldn't have Eileen and several other leaders that you have on your team. I can go on and on. Gayla and Lisa, you're just bringing so many to the table just because
I
of who
do.
you are and what you represent. So I definitely need to give it back to you. But welcome, everybody. Welcome to the call. I'm going to give a little story about myself, talk a little bit about the backstory of the company. So a little bit about me. I've been in direct sales network marketing since 1996. I'm still with the same company. But I've also owned my own business and traditional business for well over 25 years now. I liquidate power equipment all over the United States. I build and rebuild sales teams. And the reason why, because in my industry, the attrition is extremely high. And I've rebuilt and built management teams as well. And I've done it for years, train, motivate, all that good stuff. But enough about me. We're here to learn about the companies. I'm going to talk about three companies tonight. I'm going to talk about I'm going to talk about Miracle Technology Holdings. That's the company that supplies the hero of our company, which is called the Node. What I want everybody that's new on the call to know, what you're looking at is not a startup. Miracle Technology Holdings has been around well over 8 years now with over 100 million invested into the infrastructure. They're the company that supplies the product, which is a CPU node. Our product pays people every single day for the rest of their lives, whether they share it with anybody or not. If you don't know what a node is, if you know what a blockchain is, it's the simplest, most complex system in the world. And it's not that we're going to it, we're already there. I mean, the Department of Motor Vehicles in California have already went on the blockchain, banks, so on and so forth. But a blockchain is made up of two parts. It's made up of the block where the information and data is stored and the information shared on the chain, and then the node. The node can be a validator, a miner, whatever you want to call it. It validates transactions on the blockchain and is rewarded in the native token. And in this case, it's the Phoenix token. Now we're going to talk about Mediterra. Mediterra is a company that's about ready to complete a reverse merger with Miracle Technology Holdings and become the main company that will own 24 companies in the holding company. And one of the companies you're going to hear about a lot tonight is Miracle Pay when Ed starts doing the presentation. Miracle Pay currently has contracts with huge companies in the industry, and you'll learn more about that. And we're also here to talk about Bellator, right? Bellator is the marketing arm that has been blessed to market this product called a CPU node to the world. That company, we just celebrated our first year in December. On December 10th, we were in New York celebrating again. And on December 11th, there was a Black Tie Affair gala, and Ed Terranova, Mita Del Fiero, and a lot of the leaders in Bellator were blessed enough to be in that room. But what was impressive about that room was not just who was in the room, that was there to hear about a company called Mediterra, which is an emerging market company coming onto the scene, but it was the people we turned away at the door because we weren't going to break fire code. And the people we turned away at the door were millionaires and billionaires in their own right. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the speaker tonight. I'm going to bring him on. He's not only one of the top earners and leaders in the company, he has been in the space for decades, spearheaded teams of tens of thousands of people and more in multiple companies. He's been in and out of corporate. He's designed comp plans. He's a a retired New York City firefighter. But above all that, he's my friend and sponsor. Ed, take it away.
Awesome, Robert. Thank you so much. And Brenda, all you do, Ethan, appreciate you guys. Everything's going on. I see Gregory's here. I've seen some of his stuff. Just amazing leadership team, great people. And so if you are here for the first time, thank you for coming. We want to respect your time. I'm going to do the best I can to make this fun, simple, and fast, simply because there's a lot to what you're going to see. And it's kind of like, I always like to talk about the most successful companies out there, like Amazon. And when they first started, they were a bookstore online, and people grappled with what that was and whether or not they wanted to shop for a book online and whether or not they use their credit card to make a purchase. So it was the beginning stages. But if you were to be told back then all the intricacies, all the different products, and the best way to sum up Amazon, it's the everything store. And what you're going to see in this presentation is actually the everything financial technology company. And I don't think there's anybody in the world that has anything close to what you're going to see that we have. And once you understand that the world is going here with or without us, right? If we look back in time, I always use one of my analogies when cable television first came out. My kids were coming home, their friends had cable TV. I thought it was useless. I mean, we get TV for free. What do I want to pay for cable TV for? I got everything I need right on my the antennas, and they kept saying, but dad, and then one day, I come from New York, so the Yankees and the Mets went to cable. And the only way you could watch the game, the Knicks games, the only way to watch the game was you had to have cable. And I gave in. I said, okay, we'll get cable. And I was the same way with computers. I didn't want to buy a computer. I didn't want to learn a computer. I heard that Warren Buffett, doesn't use a computer. He only used it, to play bridge, to play games. And I'm like, I don't need a computer. And then I realized I need to get it. And really, my first 2 years were very frustrating. And now we can't live without them, right? We got the smartphones, we got the devices, we got the it used to be that big, computer that we had in our house, and then it went to these laptops, and um, now we can do everything right on our phone. That's it, right? Everything's right there, and so technology happens. And I always love to say that um, the winners tend to evaluate and make a decision fast, and the losers look at stuff and they take forever to make a decision, and it doesn't work out, right? But if you get that aha moment in this presentation, like, okay, if these guys got what they say they got, I want to be a part of it. That was me. I talked to my friend Ray Vidrio. We hadn't spoken in years, and he said, Ed, could I get 5 minutes of your time to bring you up to speed on what Mike and I have been doing? I said, sure. And that was Micah Thierd and Ray Vidrio. These are guys I worked with over 20 years ago. They were out in LA. I was in New York, and I wanted to hear what he had to say. I gave him the 5 minutes, and because I had some experience in crypto and knew eventually where it would end up, that the future was that we were going to go through a transference of wealth, that we were going to go from fiat currency to digital currency, and the technology just wasn't built yet. And what you're looking at on the screen, Miracle Pay, is a big component of that technology. And if you get that aha moment, say, okay, I get it. See, Miracle Pay is going to allow people all over the world to purchase things at the stores they shop at using crypto. So when you go and you use your MasterCard, your Visa card, your American Express, whether it's a debit card or credit card, we tap it, we swipe it, we insert it. Those machines, if you start paying attention, take a look. They have a company on them. And chances are they say Ingenico, or they say Pax, or Verifone, or NCR. Those are four of the top merchant providers, and they have over 100 million terminals out there worldwide. All four of those companies have contracted with us to provide the gateway to allow their customers to pay with crypto. And that's happening. And so we're going to run through this presentation by showing you short videos. I could talk a lot in between. I really want to honor everybody's time. So let's see how quickly we could get through this, and then we'll save the best for last. And if we want to open it up, I know Robert might have some things that he wants to cover after I go through this. But so we're going to watch about 4 or 5 videos here, some of which are just a minute long, some of which are, 2 minutes long. I think the longest one might be 2.5 minutes. But let's jump in there, and I'll introduce each one. So the name of the company is Mediterra. We're a holding company, and the vision is to architect the future of digital finance all over the world. And when you look at Mediterra, you know what, guys? I'm going to stop the video panel so we can. Okay, so we're not blocking anything's on the screen. Um, Underneath Mediterra, like Robert indicated earlier, is a holding company that is going public, will be on the NASDAQ, and that is going to happen any day now. It could happen. It could happen momentarily. I would not. I heard somebody talking about something that Michael was saying online. I think Greg was mentioning it, and yeah, we're very close. I mean, any day now, we're going to officially be on the Nasdaq on the lower board, and it's exciting stuff. And that comes to us. If you look on the left-hand side, the first circle there is Wall Street Capital. Wall Street Capital is taking us public. We have Miracle Chain. We have our own blockchain. We have Miracle Pay. That's what we're going to talk a lot about today. We have Miracle Real World Assets, things that you could buy one time and get paid on every day for the rest of your life. And these things that we're going to talk about are saleable, they're inheritable, they're transferable. So you could actually do a legacy build here. If you're like me, I've grown into wanting to create a legacy for my family. I have children, I've got grandchildren, and I want to pass this legacy of generational wealth on to my family. And if that rings with you, you're in the right place. The next to the Miracle Real World Assets is the Score finance product. That's a digital credit product that we're coming out with just in a couple of weeks. We're going to announce it. Though some of us are going to an event we're doing in Scottsdale, Arizona, and uh, we will be showing everybody Score at that event. It's amazing. Bellator Life, that's us. We're the community that represents Miracle, Mediterra, introduces people, gets engaged with sharing. So if you're part of Bellator, Bellator is a marketing company that markets all the products we're going to talk about. And then we have Miracle Cash and More, which is its own exchange. So we have a decentralized exchange, a DEX that we just launched. We'll talk about that. And we also have a centralized exchange, which is Miracle Cash and More. Miracle Cash and More even has its own stable coin called the Miracle Coin. And so we have a full ecosystem of financial products that housed all under one roof, that there isn't a company in the world I know of, not Coinbase, not Binance, none of them have all these different components, financial technology. And that's why we attracted some amazing people. But to kind of give us and go into the node area, let's listen to this guy. He's going to talk about his experience. He's not in our company, not yet. If you guys want to recruit him, find out who he is, go recruit him. He's going to sign up. But he got involved with a company called Gala Games years ago. And some of our friends that are in this company were there. Matter of fact, there's one lady I know that made millions in that company. So let's hear what he has to say, and then we'll show you what we have.
did make millions of dollars in crypto, but I don't trade crypto and I don't buy crypto. I make it. So I started making Bitcoin at $220. That in itself is crazy. We started mining Bitcoin. We were making a lot of money. We were like, man, if Bitcoin ever gets to $10,000, we're going to be rich. This guy that was mentoring me, he was worth 100 million bucks. I became one of his top guys. And at that time, I didn't know anybody worth that kind of money. It just sounds preposterous to the average person. For the next 7 years, I learned software instead of hardware mining. So when you mine Bitcoin, you have a physical piece of machine. You plug it into the network. It confirms transactions. You make Bitcoin. On the platform that we launched, which was a company called Gala Games, we worked with Snoop, the death row chain that Snoop gave me, kind of crazy. And instead of hardware, we had software. So these software nodes will confirm transactions on the blockchain. Every time you buy something on that blockchain, sell something, move some money back and forth, there's a fee. That fee goes up in the cloud and is split evenly between the node owners. So that very first blockchain that we launched, I only put 15,000 in. And for 2.5 years, those nodes just confirmed transactions. I had about 17 million tokens in my wallet. I watched it go from less than a penny to 5 cents, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 84 cents in a matter of like 5 months. So I went from $11,000 in software nodes to having over 11.4 million liquid currency.
So he had 11 million software nodes that grew to $11 million in crypto. And so they have it, they have a system and they're still in business. They're a good company. But when you see what we have, the capacity of what we have can far exceed what he's talking about in numbers. So let's take a look at what we're bringing to market and what we have. This is a quick 1 minute video that kind of give you a real good understanding.
You've probably heard the saying, if only I were early. Early to Bitcoin, early to Amazon, early to Tesla. Well, here it is again. But this time, it's not about hype. It's about owning the rails of a new financial system. Introducing CPU nodes, digital assets that earn daily from real crypto transactions happening worldwide. Every time someone pays with crypto, in store or online, a small fee powers the network. And if you own a node, you get paid. These nodes are already paying every single day in a digital currency undervalued today, but set to explode in the months ahead. We've secured contracts with 4 global terminal providers, giving us access to over 100 million active merchants. And we're also integrated with major online retailers, processing billions each month. When even a small percentage of that volume transacts in crypto, node rewards skyrocket. The system is active. Payouts have begun. We're funding our aggressive expansion, not with Wall Street, but with everyday people like you. Together, we're decentralizing wealth by owning the new infrastructure of money. Timing is everything. Own a node now and earn every day for life.
So imagine that you buy a node and you pay for it one time. There's no monthly hosting fees, doesn't cost you anything additional. Matter of fact, in our company with Bellator, you join Bellator, you become a partner for free. You're on the website for free. There's no hosting fees, and you could sell and make money for free. It's an amazing thing. So I encourage people, at the very least, get started, just check it out. And if you want to buy product, buy product. If you want to sell product, sell product. You can make money here multiple ways. And so we're going to kind of cover that. But when you think about those nodes, we have what's called Miracle Pay nodes. They have a $1,200 value. That's what they're selling for right now. There's 210,000 of them. And the 210,000 all share in 30% of the transactional profit. So this is available right now at this price. I know that once we officially get our ticker symbol, again, it could happen any day now, it could happen next week. I expect it. I'd say 90% certainty we'll probably have it before this month is up. Once that happens, we're going to restructure because the gentleman you're going to hear about in a little bit, Douglas Anderson, he is the chairman of the board of Mediterra. He's got a lot of experience. We'll talk about that. But he's looking at it and saying these are undervalued. We have to restructure it. So while you can get it at this price, that's what we have available for people who really want to participate. That's just one of many options. And so when you look at the fintech ecosystem that we have, right at the center is the banking core. It's the switch. Just as whenever you make a charge with your card, it gets run through and settled through a switch. As a matter of fact, that company that represents the majority of all of the credit card transactions here in this country and around the world is a company called First Data. Well, we could have hired them and let them build a switch and they would have taken a cut. But Hakan Torhan, the founder and creator of this, said, no, we won't do that. We'll create it ourselves. So Miracle got started back in 2017, has raised tens of millions of dollars to create the infrastructure that's now running, up and running, and people are making money, and it's really getting ready to expand tremendously. And what Robert had mentioned earlier, the Phoenix token we have, it's a super utility token. And the reason why we call it a super utility token is unlike some tokens like Ethereum on the Ethereum network, when people make a transaction, they use Ethereum to pay the transaction fee. It's called the gas fee. That's the transaction fee. And it's great. They primarily make money on the transactional volume being of just buying and selling crypto. When you look at what we have, all the different products that you're going to hear in this presentation, everything that's inside of the Miracle Network, the gas fees are paid with the Phoenix token. So this price is from a few days ago. It's now at 7/10 of a penny. And just like the guy in the video said, it was at a fraction of a penny and went up to 84 cents. And that's what caused his $11,000 worth of nodes to now have escalated through that system to 11 million. And so we have a tremendous opportunity here with these nodes and with this token, the Phoenix token. And we have several nodes. So the Miracle Pay node is again receiving 30%, as we mentioned, of the transactional volume. Well, the first node that we came out is called the Phoenix Code node. And the Phoenix Code node, when it came out, we were able to buy it for $1,100. Now it's selling for $5,000, and there's a limited supply that's left. So if you're interested in this one, the Code node, there's only 20,000 of, and the 20,000 share in 20% of all the transactional profit. Now we don't know exactly what it's going to end up paying, but here's what was told to me. Was told to me is that nodes can pay you $10 a day, they could pay you $100 a day. And the people I was hearing that from were involved with that company, Gala. Matter of fact, I know one lady that made millions in that company. And, so I looked at it and said, wait a second. I knew nothing about nodes when we first came out with nodes. I said, I'm a leader. I got to buy a node. So I bought a node. And about 3 weeks into it, Robert says to me, hey, do you have your node hooked up? Are you collecting your rewards? I said, no, I didn't get around to it yet. And he kind of yelled at me. He said, what are you doing? You're losing money. He said, it takes a minute to set it up. I'll help you set it up. I said, okay. He helped me set it up, and I've been claiming rewards ever since. And it's amazing. It is that simple. You don't pay any monthly fee. You just get paid. You pay for it one time. So when they said, you can make $100 a day on a node, I was like, hey, that's pretty good. At one time in my life, I was doing substitute teaching on the side, and I was getting paid $100 a day. And I was like, well, I'd rather have a node that I press a button on and get paid 100 than to have to spend a whole day in school with the kids. Uh, maybe if I could get one node, I could get 10. I believe in the 10x principle. And I said, if one node could pay you 100 a day, 10 would pay you 1,000 a day. I like $1,000 days. And so that's, how I got started with nodes. And again, when I bought it, it was $1,100. Now it's 5,000. And when you consider that appreciation, that's well over 400% gain in just relatively a 2-year period. That's tremendous. Just the value of the appreciation on the real world assets that we're bringing to market. Then you have the accumulation on a daily basis. Those of us who have code nodes and those of us who have Miracle Pay nodes, right now we're getting 80 Phoenix a day. And the Phoenix are at a fraction of a penny, but I believe emphatically we're going to a penny, and we're going to 10 cents, and we're going to $1. It's just a matter of time before that happens. And if you're stacking, and I know people who are stacking, and they're now in the position where they have literally millions, because when you look at what it actually generates on a day after day basis, and if you start stacking it, and you could even stake it, stack it and stake it, and you can make even more money. But once it hits that dollar, if you stacked 100,000, 500,000, a million, 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, whatever it is you've stacked, just if it's worth $1 a token. Now, how realistic is that? Well, the highest token I've ever seen go is a token called the BNB token, which is on the Binance exchange. And it's Binance's utility token. And whenever there's traffic on Binance, any kind of transaction, there's fees. That token, that BNB token, last year went up to $1,200 a token. So I'm not saying we're going to go to that extreme. However, I do believe that we have the capacity and potential to be bigger than that. So that's where we are, guys. I mean, the sky's the limit. If you like to dream and dream big, you're in the right place because that's a possibility here. That's all I'm saying. No guarantees. I'm just being very optimistic because that's the way I am. And I flew out to Cyprus to see this thing so that I had an understanding of what we had our hands on. Now, Robert and I are here almost 4 years. We wouldn't still be here pumping the pump if we weren't doing well, right? So there's an opportunity here for everybody. And the timing really couldn't be better simply because everything is coming to fruition right now in the validation quadrants. When you look at going public on the NASDAQ and having that, when you're looking at companies like, and I'll make mention of this, we didn't back in July of last year, Robert and I had to sign a non-disclosure when we were told that Shopify signed a contract with us so that we can be that gateway where people could use crypto. I mean, imagine that. That now we can tell people that. But that's when you look at that size and scope of a company that recognizes our company as the company that can handle and has the capacity to scale and be able to process all of these future transactions, we're in the right place at the right time when those big names are here. Well, Mediterra is a holding company that's architecting the future of digital finance. And when you see the people behind this, it's just incredible. So we're going to take a look at that. And here's our board for Mediterra. In the upper left-hand corner, that's Hakan Torrehan. He is the idea man that actually came up with the idea of Miracle running on the blockchain. He has a financial background. He's been in banking. He's an entrepreneur. He has built products that industry. He actually took in Turkey after he helped set up over 50,000 ATMs throughout the United Kingdom. He went to Turkey to show them how they could do the same thing. And at the time, Turkey had 4 major banks that all had their own individual systems. And he convinced them to bring them all together under one roof so the general public could use just one, card that would operate in all of the banks. And he had to get the government approval. He had to get the bankers involved, and he created that format. Then he went on to create a product that we're going to talk about a little bit called Score, that is amazing, and it's a scoring product like an Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, only it has a blended score. It uses all of those companies plus their own data analytics to make something that's even better, that increases the amount of approval rates that there are. And for businesses, it has significantly increased their business. Well, what happened about 8 months ago was Douglas Anderson, who's the man in the upper right, he's the founder and CEO of Wall Street Capital, a company that's almost 30 years old. And his contact capital are like the guys that I'm going to introduce you to on the bottom row. On the bottom row from left to right, we have John Bear. John Bear created a little company called Cellular One that sold off to AT&T. He also created the framework for what we know of today as streaming video that Netflix runs on. And he also created a technology company that was acquired by Google and runs on it today. So he's a technologist, he's an entrepreneur, he's raised hundreds of millions of dollars. He's on our board. Right next to him is Stephen Morris. Stephen Morris was the chief counsel at the Marriott Corporation, was CEO of Marriott for 10 years. He and David Rubenstein are co-founders of something called the Carlyle Group. And if you've heard of the Carlyle Group, you know that it's an elite company that's been in business almost 40 years. And the idea to create that company was Stephen's idea, and today it's known as private equity. So that idea, private equity, to invest in companies was Stephen Norris's idea, and he has contact capital like the King of Saudi Arabia, who has done numerous deals with Stephen and made a lot of money with Stephen, and we're in the process of doing something with them right now. To the right of him is Stephen Moore. Stephen Moore was a economic advisor to the President of the United States. He most recently was offered the position to be the chairman of the Fed by President Trump. He passed on it for family reasons. And next to him is Fernando Valdesola. Fernando is from Mexico. Him and his family built a little company called PACCAR, which is a $60 billion company. He's also a state senator in Mexico. All of these guys are our partners. They're on board. They are advisors to everything you're about to see. So when this came about, I'm a very fair-minded, logical thinking person. I knew what we had our hands on. I knew what the potential was. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I just believed it was going to happen. And so in the beginning stages, my wife would ask me, my wife's my CFO. She's not an entrepreneur. She's not a visionary. She doesn't think like I think. We stay in our own lanes. But she asked me, Ed, what do you think the chances this one will make it? And in the beginning, I said, Deb, the size and scope of what we have our hands on, we have the technology. We have everything. I don't know exactly how it's going to happen. I believe it's going to happen, but in all honesty, it's about a 50-50 crapshoot. It may make it, it may not. And then these guys came on board, and I could tell you right now, right now, it for me, it's easily over 90% surety. When that symbol goes on the Nasdaq, 98%, we're done. There's no doubt. We're here. We've arrived, and so That's why I say the timing on this thing is spectacular. Anybody who's engaged with joints today, tomorrow, you'll have this story that you were involved before it went public. Just to be there before it goes public, to be there before Tesla goes public, to be there before Amazon goes public, to be there before Microsoft went public, to be there before Google went public. All these companies that are these icons, that are these unicorns. And for those who don't know what a unicorn is a company that rapidly grows to be $1 billion company. We're in the process of doing that. All of these guys believe we're going to be a unicorn. As a matter of fact, all of these guys believe that this could be the biggest project they've ever worked on. I mean, think about that. Stephen Norris provided Amazon with the books. He sold the books to Jeff Bezos that Amazon got started with, then raised hundreds of millions of dollars and helped it become a $1 trillion company. That's who is on our board. That's how big this thing is. We could stop it right here, and you could learn the details later. I'd say just sign up, just based on what you just heard. For me, that's the way it would go. I'd hear that, and I'd do what Tyrone did with me. My friend Tyrone Hutton, I went to Cyprus, and I spent the night in Istanbul, and I called him, and I said, listen, as soon as I get home, you got to jump on a Zoom. This is real. So he gets on a Zoom, the first Zoom, and I see his name there. He was in the room. And in 10 minutes into it, Mike Otherd is doing a presentation. 10 minutes into it, he on my phone, it starts ringing, and it's Tyrone. I go, what text he calling me for? We're watching this thing, And I picked up the phone. Tyrone, what's going on? He says, listen, tell that guy to shut up and sign me up. When people have the know and they have a great amount of experience, like these gentlemen here, they don't waste time. They just jump in. And so come on board. We're rocking. This thing is happening. It's happening big, and you can be a part of it. So Mediterra is the holding company, parent company. All the miracle companies, actually over 20 of the miracle companies, just digest the names here. Miracle Pay, we talked about it. Miracle Coin, that's a stable coin. Miracle Estates, imagine tokenizing real estate around the world. Miracle media companies on the blockchain. Miracle Sport TV on the blockchain. Miracle Swap, Miracle Technologies, Miracle Cash and More, a cryptocurrency exchange, the Phoenix token, the nodes, Leveler, which is a trading platform. There's so much here that we're not even talking about. We'll talk about a couple of things like Miracle Chain in a little bit here, but this is what we have. We just went global with Miracle Pay. And when we did, there was an AI visibility comparison done by Gemini, which is one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges out there, crypto companies out there. And look where we ended up immediately, like week one, Miracle Pay number 6. Right up there against these companies that have been in business for a while that do billions on a daily basis. Crypto.com, Binance Pay, BitPay, Coinbase, and we're right in the game with them. This is amazing, guys. Absolutely amazing that we got this recognition this quickly because everything we need is built. We're ready to take this to the next step. And that's why I say it's fun and exciting. It's fun, simple, and fast. The next video, when I saw this video for the first time, I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to show everybody this video because it tells you what Miracle Chain is. We have our own blockchain. We have our own chain and it does a lot. So take a look at Miracle Chain and what's called the Mirex token, which is what powers the Miracle Chain.
Welcome to the future of business. Miracle Chain, where blockchain meets automation and AI transforms how companies grow. Imagine onboarding customers with a tap, paying teams worldwide in seconds, and launching token ecosystems without writing a single line of code. With Iterato, your sales force becomes unstoppable. AI handles the follow-up, while gamification drives viral growth. Need to launch your own token? Miracle Launchpad and DEX give you everything: pre-sales, vesting, swaps, and full control. The Miracle Wallet simplifies finance. No seed phrases, just seamless access to crypto. Commissions and payments, secure, compliant, and easy to white label. And at the core, Miracle Chain. Private layer 2, built for scale, compliance, and automated global payouts. Whether you're selling online or in-store, Miracle Pay bridges fiat and crypto so you can do business anytime, anywhere. Miracle Chain.
But however, if I
Digital economy, one smart system at a time.
All right. So hopefully that got you excited. It did get me very excited when I first saw it. So Miracle Chain is our own blockchain. The Mirix tokens are for sale. The Guardian nodes are for sale. And we have packages in the back office that, we had an incredible situation. Mirix went live. We were selling Mirix. It started out at 25 cents. And those of us who purchased it up until just weeks ago were in the 80 cent per token category. And then we went live with it just a couple of days. I think it's like 3 days. We're in the third day of going live. And it's already jumped up to $2.50 for something that we paid 25 to 80 cents for. And that's just the token. So there's another real world asset that you can make a lot of money with. So you want to take a look at that and understand where the world is going with tokenizing real world assets. BlackRock CEO Fink says that all of the stock market companies are going to go 24/7 digital on the blockchain, getting tokenized. That's what's about to happen. All the business in the world is about to go on smart contracts, about to go real world assets on tokenized so just think about that. What does that mean for a business? Why would an Apple, why would a Microsoft, tokenize what is currently their stock? Well, the current stock market is a little bit antiquated, right? I mean, if you want to trade at night, you can't. It's closed. You want to trade on the weekend, you can't. It's closed. If you want to trade on a holiday, you can't. It's closed, right? You have to trade during business hours. So when you could sell an investment in a company 24/7, 365, that gives you a lot more opportunity for money to come in. Not only that, but if you tokenize it, when you look at our phones that are smartphones, there are people, about 20% of the world's population are unbankable. They don't have the ability, a lot of Latin American countries, they don't have the ability to actually open up a bank account. And so they can't do the things that we take for granted. Those of us who here in the States, we don't think anything about it. Just about everybody's got a bank account. Well, what if you didn't have a bank account? How would you make purchases? How would you run a business? How would, this is the problem that exists in the world. And this solves that problem, where somebody now who can be, a laborer can have a phone, even though they're unbankable, they could have a phone where they could actually buy a token and own a piece of a company. Can you imagine that? They hear about this electric car coming out that Tesla's putting out, or they hear about, most recently, the energy that's going to be derived in outer space from these satellites they're going to put up. That Elon Musk has so many companies that are coming out, and the robots and all that kind of stuff. And somebody says, "Hey, I want to invest in that. I want to buy that stock." But I can't, because I can't open up a brokerage account. I don't even have a bank account. Now they could buy the tokenization of it. It's amazing, guys. It increases the liquidity, it increases the supply of money and that's available out there. And not only that, it's faster, it's more expedient, it's cheaper. So it solves a whole bunch of problems. We have the technology to take companies public, even in the oil sector. And you're going to see a video on that, because that's happening. And so you're going to hear stuff that's mentioned here in the rest of this video, and is mentioned around the world. And we are right there. We are providing this technology to the world. So let's take a look at what's known as Project X. And when you think about tokenizing oil, which we're doing, and tokenization of oil means that when you think about whether it's the Saudi oil reserve, or it's all of the oil that comes through a company that is doing that we're now doing business with, it's in Africa, it's a multi-billion-dollar company, oil and gas, and you look at it and you say, wow, so this company that's worth billions of dollars seized this is a way that they could expand and generate more capital. But here's the thing, they're going to be able to get investments on what's underground, not the barrels that they've pulled out. It's the future that's under the ground. That is part of the allure, is that all of the mining, all of the gold, all of the diamonds are gonna be part of the fund that is being brought online, on chain, on Miracle Chain in the entire continent of Africa. Guys, this is mind-boggling stuff that we're in the process of doing. So let's take a look at Project X, and it's going to show you how we could capitalize on this.
We hear it all the time. The investment world is complicated. Stocks are confusing. Commodities are complex. And the Forex market? It's a maze. It's time to end the chaos. Introducing Project X. Let's look closer at the ultimate gateway bridging Wall Street and Web 3. Project X isn't just a product, it's your key to the future. At its core lies the power of Wall Street capital asset strategies. Here is the huge news. A $12 billion deal has already been signed. This unlocks approximately $25 million a year flowing directly back to Project X holders. But we are just getting started. A colossal $60 billion deal is already on the way. Once signed, this is projected to add another $125 million to the community pool. The potential here is limitless. Plus, the project is powered by Mediterra's robust real-world assets, RWA, with massive backing from the oil and energy sectors. The rewards? Project X holders enjoy a $2 daily payout. That means $730 a year, guaranteed. And don't forget, you earn a $250 direct commission on every single NFT sale you make. For the first 10 days only, prices are slashed. Single NFT, just $1,300, down from $1,600. Starter pack, 3 NFTs, $3,600. Bonus pack, buy 5, get 1 free for $6,000. Whale pack, buy 25, get 7 free for $30,000. Secure your financial future today with Project X. Buy now at bellatorlife.com.
Bellator Life. To your legacy.
So when you look at the price of this single node for just $1,300 and the fact that there's only 12,000 of them, the Project X nodes, NFTs, the smart contract attached, when you looked at that video, it talked about, these 2 deals that would just, one would bring 25 million to the community, another would bring 125 million into the community. Well, that's the community. These 1,200 nodes is the community. Do you want a piece of it? How much of a piece do you want? How many of these do you want? We don't know for sure how it's all going to work out, but I look at this and I go, oh my goodness, I want as many as I could get. So this is really one of those things that, we quite often talk about FOMO, fear of missing out. I know definitively that these prices change the moment we're on the NASDAQ, and it's happening any day now. So, we so long as it's in the back office, it's there. There are some things that have deadlines that'll run out, and I'm not sure enough to even tell you about them. All I know is this, that if it's still in the back office, buy it. It's there for the taking, and that's the case with the Project X nodes. And then we have for the last video we're going to watch here, what's called pre-IPO packages. IPO's initial public offering. Before the initial public offering, some special packages that have incredible value have been put together. So let's watch this one, and then we'll bring this section to a close.
Wake up! Don't let this slip by. The biggest opportunity of the year has finally arrived. To the most relentless, visionary community in the space, your moment to build the future is right now. Let's break down the Bellator pre-IPO infrastructure launch packages. Start strong with the starter package. You get 2 Miracle Pay nodes and 3 Project X nodes. That is a retail value of $6,000 slashed down to just $3,000. You lock in a massive 50% savings. Scaling up, the Builder package delivers 1 Guardian node, 3 Miracle Pay nodes, and 3 Project X nodes. A $9,800 retail value for only $5,500, saving you 44%. For the serious visionaries, the Elite Infrastructure Package is your best value. Secure 2 Guardian nodes, 7 Miracle Pay nodes, and 4 Project X nodes. Retail is $17,000, but today it is yours for $9,900. That is an incredible 42% savings. And for the ultimate leaders, the limited founder infrastructure package. Command 5 Guardian nodes, 15 Miracle Pay nodes, and 10 Project X nodes. This is a $43,000 retail value for $25,000. Another huge 42% savings. But act fast. There are only 200 founder positions available. This isn't just an upgrade. It is your empire. Claim your nodes, secure your rewards, and take your place at the top. The network is launching. Time to move is now. Secure your package today, and let's build the future together.
Bellator Life. To your legacy.
All right, sign me up again. Building the infrastructure of tomorrow today. Folks, we're going to bring this portion to a close right here. Then I'm going to turn it back over to Robert. But before we do that, I just want to encourage you. There's one of my mentors, W. Clement Stone, had a famous saying. He said, when you have everything to gain and nothing to lose, by all means, try. And that's apropos here. You got everything to gain and nothing to lose. It's free. I always tell people, come in where you fit in. It's free to become a partner in Bellator and get your own website for free. Get your own referral link for free. And you could start referring and start making money right out the gate. You don't have to spend money. However, all of these have incredible values. And if you're of the like means, I mean, some people come in and invest, at the highest level. Some people come in and buy, a single node, and all of that's good. I encourage that. Come in where you fit in, plug into the information that's provided, and over time, what you'll find is that your belief level goes up, and you start seeing the bigger picture. And then you'll have an aha moment at some point in time that causes you to take action that's going to profit you and your family. And so always, always, always remember that with all this that is happening around the world, what's going on with the economic change.
Has a minute to adjust to it, but I absolutely love it now. I can see everything. So before I get into this, right, I got to go back to the hero of the company. And Ed talked in detail about the hero of our company and the different node classes that we have. But I like to touch on this. I don't know what level the new people are thinking at. I go over this when I do a presentation normally every time just to get people an idea, because 90% of the people are on this call to make money. What we have to decide, do you want to make it passively, or do you want to share it with other people and tap into this compensation model? But anyway, our CPU nodes are the hero of the company. And we've talked about this before. Our product pays people every day for the rest of their lives, whether they share it with anybody or not. The president of our company, Jürgen Povelmuller, when he was auditing our company before he took the position, he didn't understand exactly what we were doing, but what he understood, it's the first time he's ever seen true residual income. And as I go through this, you're going to understand what he was talking about. But now I'm going to go to a different level with this. We don't get paid on humans. We get paid on nodes. We don't get paid on people with their emotions that have to make a decision whether they want to purchase for the month or if they want to spend 30 minutes to try to figure out how to cancel their auto ship or get out of the program altogether. We don't deal with any of that. And what I like to say is we have a home for the wounded warriors out there in the network marketing, direct sales, and affiliate marketing space. We have a home for people that are tired of the money grabs, the rug pulls, the here today, gone tomorrow BS that we've all experienced in the industry, right? We don't have any of that here. As a matter of fact, there's companies that have been around decades that have recently closed their doors, and there's companies now that are merging just to stay afloat in their industry. We don't have that here, right? You can build a team here of 10,000 people, and I really want you to hear this, and they could all leave. As a matter of fact, you could leave. And what will never go down is the time and effort that you put into building something. Your pay will never go down. Why? Once again, we don't get paid on people, we get paid on nodes. So that's number one in the flow chart. Number two is direct commissions. I need to share this. Ed's already said it at least 3 times. It doesn't cost anything to become a member of Bellator. You can get in for free 99, I mean zero, right? And you can earn unlimited direct commissions and get paid 3 levels of the unilevel. The direct commissions here haven't been updated. These are for the Miracle Pay nodes only. $225 for every one you sell. $225, you sell 50. That's over 12,000 in direct commissions one time. Number 3, the direct commissions also in the Project X nodes is $250 no matter how many you sell. And currently for our IPO packages, commissions are paid out 7 levels deep. But as we talked about, that promotion could be going away at midnight Hawaii time. None of us work for corporate. None of us have a crystal ball, but at least that's what the email said. So number 3 is a binary bonus, and I think a lot of the leaders on this call can concur that most of your income, as a matter of fact, 43% of my income comes from this bonus. So you can earn 10 to 20% of your lesser volume leg in the binary. So since we brought it up, there's 2 different structures in this pay level, right? You get the binary, which is 2 by infinity levels deep. And what I want you to know, there's not a binary for me, a binary for Ed, a binary for Brenda. No, the binary starts at the top with Bellator, and everything beneath it grows underneath those 2 levels at the top. And then we have a 15-level unilevel, which I'll explain a little bit more about in a bit. So the binary bonus, if you come to the center of the page, is based on personal direct sales. If you sell 0 to $999,000, you can earn 10% of your lesser volume leg in the binary. And for new people, you don't have to understand it. It's just terminology. And for every 10,000 you sell after that, your commissions go up 2%. You max out this part of the comp plan by selling 50,000 in direct sales, personal sales yourself. You max out this part of the comp plan, and this pays out daily. Number 4 is one of my favorite parts about this comp plan, is the rank advancement bonus and the ranks itself, right? There's 5 ranks in the company, and I just want to let you know this. The company has been generous enough. If you position yourself correctly, you can reach the top position or any position in this company 3 times if you choose to. So I'm going to talk about difference maker, and I'm going to talk about some amazing leaders on this call. I know Brenda hit the first rank in her first hour, and she hit winner in her first week, and she's currently at leader status. Ethan's at leader status. Eileen's at winner status. We have so much leadership on this call, and it's about ready to go like a popcorn machine. Ranks are going to be popping left and right. So difference maker is super simple. You buy a minimum package yourself, you sell 1 on the left, 1 on the right, voila. You're a difference maker. First rank in the company. Max pay at that level is $100 a day. Will it start there? No. That's your max pay at that level, which is $3,000 a month. Winner, you need 3 difference makers in 3 separate legs, and this is where the unilevel comes in, right? You have to have the unilevel to advance in rank. You build the binary, the unilevel builds itself, and every time you bring in a direct, it starts a lineage or family tree leg, as you will, and it builds itself. So to hit winner, you have to have 3 difference makers in 3 separate legs, and they don't have to be your personal. At winner, you have to have 20 active people on your team. and they don't have to be your personal. When you hit winner, you get a one-time $500 bonus, and your max pay goes to $200 a day. $200 a day is $6,000 a month for that little bit of work. Leader, you need 3 winners and 3 separate legs. Once again, they don't have to be your personal. When you hit leader, you have to have 60 active people on your team, and they don't have to be your personal. When you hit leader, which I call the first real money rank in this company, you get a one-time bonus of $2,500, but your max pay goes up to $2,000 a day. $2,000 a day is $730,000 per year. Champion, you'd have to have 3 leaders and 3 separate legs. At champion, you need 200 active people on your team, and they don't have to be your personal. When you hit champion, you get a $10,000 bonus, and your max pay per day, not week, not month, not year, max pay per day goes up to $5,000 a day. $5,000 a day is a little over $1.9 million per year. Legend, you need 3 champions and 3 separate legs, and they don't have to be your personal. At Legend, you have to have 800 active people on your team, and they don't have to be your personal. When you hit Legend, you get a $50,000 one-time bonus, and your max pay goes up to $25,000 a day. $25,000 a day is a little over $9 million a year, and us around here, we like to say that would probably keep the lights on and feed the cat. So number 5, this is one of my favorite parts of the comp plan. It's massive, and I know people in this company currently, based on this compensation alone, they're getting paid on thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of nodes every single day for the rest of their lives, on top of the ones that they own themselves. And remember, we get paid on nodes, not people. These nodes will never leave your family tree. So number 6 is the matching bonus.